Good morning, YouTube family. How are you? Um, my name is Dee. You can feel free to call me D True. And today, welcome to my channel. This is my story, my life story, my journey to finding myself. So I want to tell you a story this morning about how I began to start to find myself. And I wanted to share my story because I figured, in telling our stories, we help other people, because I've watched some other stories online. Now, please forgive me because I don't remember the names, so I wasn't able to, I can't remember them to give them their props. But next time I will make sure I remember. But I've watched some stories online, and they've inspired me. They've really motivated me. And so I figured, it's in sharing, we inspire each other. It's in testifying that we inspire each other. Really, testifying, all it really means is that it's your truth. You telling your truth. And so here I am to tell my truth. So today I want to share a story with you about my self-discovery, how, God has been taking me through this journey for the last few years to discover myself, to discover my self-worth, basically, to discover, how to love myself, how to take care of myself better. Not that I didn't know how to take care of myself, but, in a more spiritual, more balanced way. So I'm grateful for that. So I want to share, a few years ago I was married, and it wasn't the best of relationship. We were together for 15 years, and I can honestly say we were together for 15 years is because I pushed that rock. I was the one, really kind of fighting for the marriage. So we stayed for 15 years because I was really kind of nonchalant. Now, but I was fighting for my marriage, but not like aggressive, not being rude and disrespectful, but I was fighting for my marriage. But, when you're in a marriage, you feel like, this is your partner. You want to be in this thing forever. You don't want it to, to go bad. But sometimes we go through situations that we feel, we want to fight for this stuff. But really, God is saying, no, don't fight for it. Let it go. But we don't see it because we're so consumed in what we're in that we don't realize this thing is not worth fighting for. Anyways, back to the point. I was in my marriage for 15 years. I was with my husband. Now that I think about it, it wasn't the best of marriage. God, I was sexually unsatisfied. I was miserable. I was eating a lot, gaining weight because this man had no time for me. I was emotionally unfulfilled. It was just a dead marriage, but I don't even know I was fighting for it, but I was. Anyways, when my husband started cheating, it became a real thing. It became a real problem. This man would come home. He would come home, first of all, from hanging out like 2 o'clock in the morning. He would go to bed. He wouldn't know if I'm a man or a woman in the bed. He wouldn't give a damn. He would get up in the morning at 6 o'clock, get ready and be out of the house by 7, so he can make it to work for 8. So you see, we really didn't have nothing going on. But every day it was a consistent thing of coming home at 5 o'clock from work, washing up, taking a shower, getting dressed, and leaving. So this became, this was going on. And I kept telling him, and every time he would do it, I would fuss. I would argue, and I would get mad, and I would threaten him and say, if you do this, if you keep doing this, I'm going to leave. But then I wouldn't leave. I would set these boundaries and tell him, if you do this, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. But then he would test me. Yes, boo, they're going to test you. He would test me. He would do exactly what I told him not to do, just so he would see, I guess so he could see my reaction. But I was so busy being in love, I thought. I did not see that I was really hating myself, because I thought I loved this man, and I was willing to allow this man to do whatever he wanted to do to me just so I could keep him. And baby girl, that's not love. That is not love. And that's something God had to take me through, and I had to learn that is not love, because real love is not going to want to hurt you, because the Bible says love does not boast. Love is not boastful. Love is not prideful. So a person that really love you is not going to do these things to you. So, but I didn't understand that. I just was like, oh, that's my husband. I love him. He loved me. I'm not going to let another woman come in here and take him from me. But so in going through this, I'm fighting for this, and we're arguing all the time. I'm miserable, I'm unhappy, and I'm unsatisfied, and God dang it, I'm suffering sexually. So, one day, while at home, I was really, I was just really going through it, because my body was hot. I was horny. Oh my God, I was so horny. I was just, I could feel fire coming out of my hair and all. And I'm laying in my bed, thinking, oh my God, this is ridiculous. How I have a husband and I can't even get anything. It's not like I can go someplace else and get it. I mean, I can, but that's not me. But what's the point of having this man? He's not even satisfying me. And so while I'm going through all this stuff going on in my mind, he came home. He came home drunk, 2 something in the morning. I was mad. And then he just came home and just blocked himself next to me in the bed like a pile of dirty laundry. When you take a dirty thing of laundry and throw it like that. So, I'm sorry guys, the glare from the sun is hitting my face. Yeah. So now he laid down in the bed next to me, just plopped himself next to me. And I'm sitting here trying to rock myself to sleep. Because imagine, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm horny. I want some, I'm going to be blunt. I want some dick. And this man is useless. And he's my husband and all. And I'm not getting any. And it's been like 6 freaking months. So I'm hot. So now he come laying next to me, just passed the freak out. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. But something in me snapped. And I was just so mad and so angry. And I'm like, shit, if I'm not going to get it, nobody's going to get it. And somehow I found myself on top of this man, squeezing his freaking neck. I don't know how. I really don't know how, when I got on top of him. I really don't know. I don't remember. I just remember all I remember is when I saw myself, I was sitting on top of his chest. Now imagine, I'm a big one. My husband was a skinny man. And I'm a big chick. He's a sexy man. But when I saw myself, I was sitting on top of that nigga chest. My 2 thighs, my legs were on top of his arms, so he couldn't move his arms at all. Because he was drunk, his arms were buried under my thigh. And I was squeezing his neck. Girl, I put everything I had. Imagine my big ass sitting on his chest, so it's already hard for him to breathe already. And I'm squeezing his neck. Because I was so mad. I was that angry, and I was about to lose myself. I was going to lose myself. I was going to go to prison. And the truth of the matter is, in the heat of it all, I didn't care. I just wanted to get rid of this man that was making my life miserable. And I just wanted to kill him. Because I felt, how could you not see that, the love that I have for you? I love you, I've got your back. I've been with you 15 years. I've had your back, I've been your ride or die chick. And all of a sudden, you just want to walk away. And we have 2 kids. I just wanted to kill him. And so, by the time I'm squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, and I thank God for being God. Sometimes we're going through things we don't understand that God is taking us through things. It's not to hurt us. I mean, though it does hurt. It hurts a lot because we want to hold on to things that God's trying to make us shed. So that's what makes it hurt, because like snakes, sometimes we gotta shed old skin, old folks, old relationship, old situation. We gotta shed them. Whatever situation that is not serving our highest good, we have to shed and get rid of them, because they're holding us back and they're delaying us from the great destiny God already preset for us. And so I didn't understand that. So I wanted to hold on to this man, and I wanted to kill him, but I wanted to hold on to him. So finally, something in my head, I heard this little still small voice in the back of my head, in my spirit, said, very, very soft, let him go. And I was like, and that's when for some reason I came to. I woke up and I saw what I was doing. And I caught myself. And somehow my body, all my strength, all that energy, all that power that I had to squeeze this man's neck just went away. And I just went limp. And he threw me on the bed. And I just went limp and I couldn't move. So after that, he woke up, started acting like a fool. I almost choked them all. He started coughing about how, next time I'm going to call the police on you. I'm going to sleep with a knife under my hand. I'm like, oh, whatever. But I didn't know how to do what I had to do. I ain't give a damn. Whatever. But anyways, after going through all that, I went and I cried. I purged. I mean, guys, sometimes it's good to have a good cry. Because a good cry is like purging your system. It's purging yourself from impure, like low vibration vibes, ideas and thoughts. So you need to kind of purge and let all that crap out. So I went before God and I purged and I told God my truth and I told God how I felt. I felt like I deserved to have a great man in my life that loves me for me, that's going to understand and treasure me, because I believe I deserve a man that should be loyal to me, that should love me past himself, because when I'm in love, I love past myself. And so I wanted the same in return. So I was talking to God and telling God how I felt. And so in telling God how I felt, after finished purging and crying, and, sitting down, how when you finish crying, you're sitting down and you're kind of like going through everything in your mind. And God was allowing me to see, and, the Holy Spirit was talking to me, whether you want to call it the Holy Spirit, God, universe, whatever, was talking to me, was telling me, was allowing me to see, or your inner self, whatever, that why were you fighting for this relationship? First of all, I found myself asking myself, why are you fighting for this relationship? What do you see in this relationship that has bettered you, that has bettered your life since you've been in it? You've invested 15 years in it. What has happened in your life that you see has bettered you, that you feel like, okay, this relationship is worth fighting for? And I really genuinely started questioning myself, started questioning the whole fighting for this marriage, because it was a marriage and all, but it wasn't worth fighting for. And God started allowing me to see that, I understand you felt you were in love, but this was never your man. This man was never the man you were supposed to marry. He was never supposed to be your man that long. He was only supposed to be somebody that was supposed to have come into your life for a moment, for a time, for a season. And he was supposed to have taught you something in him. You were supposed to have learned, because when he came around you, he was going to trigger you in a way that you were going to learn, that something was going to happen that was going to make you learn something. But because when he came around me, my spirit recognized him, because, the Bible says, from before we were in our mother's womb, God created us, and he put everything in us that we need to be the person that we need to be, the greatest self that we need. But we don't recognize it because we live in fear of knowing who we are. We live in fear of recognizing our free will and enjoying and loving it, because we feel that it's a bad thing having free will, but it's not. It's a great thing, because I have the free will to choose to be in a good relationship or to be in a bad relationship. Free will is a good thing, but society has taught us to believe that free will is a bad thing, but it's not. So, God had to put me through this. God was talking to me and teaching me, you have free will. Free will is a great thing. You can use your free will to walk out of a bad situation. Now, I know, because, you when this person came into your life, your spirit instantly recognized them, because this was something that was predestined between the two of you. God had already predestined this person was going to come into your life at a set time, for a set moment, for a set reason, to teach you a lesson that you needed to teach, that you needed to learn and grow. But when this person came into your life, your spirit recognized them, but you took it as love and decided you wanted to hold on to this person because you're like, oh my God, I'm in love. And then you want to force this person to be in something in your life that they're not supposed to be. When their time is up, people, their time is up. There could be a year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever. But when their time is up, their time is up, and they will leave. They don't care if they've built a home with you. They don't care if they have children with you. They don't care, whatever. They will break down everything and leave, because their time is up. This was not your man. And God had to make me understand that. God had to take me through this journey of making me understand, listen, when you meet somebody, just because your spirit recognizes them and you feel like, there's a connection, that does not mean it's a love connection. It could be a connection for something else. A lesson that needed to be learned. I'm sorry, you guys, the sun really is messing with me, but anyway, a lesson that needed to be learned or whatever. So God had to take me through that. And I started asking myself, okay, so why was I fighting for this marriage? Because the truth of the matter is, the marriage was not worth fighting for, people. It was not. I should have been thanking this girl for coming into my life and relieving me of this man, because this man was useless to me. 15 years I was unsatisfied, very unsatisfied sexually. This man didn't touch me at all. We have 2 kids, and I still say every day it was by accident. I really don't see how we have 2 kids, because we barely had any sex. I used to be very I'm still, not as bad because I'm learning to control it, but I used to be very sexually frustrated. And this frustration would come out in forms of me yelling, screaming at the kids, and all sorts of stuff breaking out. And I was just that frustrated because I was not getting any. But the whole time I have a whole husband. I mean, it's one thing not to be getting any because you don't have anybody. But it's another thing to have somebody in your life that's supposed to be there for you and you're not getting any. That's just ridiculous and frustrating. Anyways, so God started allowing me to see this. And God was like, okay, what is it, you want? What is it, in order for you to be loved, my God, it was seriously, this conversation was going in my head. In order for you to be loved and receive the type of love that you want and that you're giving, you have to first love yourself. And I was shocked because I'm like, love myself? The hell? What does that mean? Love myself. I love myself, but the truth is I didn't love myself. I didn't know that I didn't love myself. Because if you think about it, a lot of us are going through life and we don't realize we do not love ourselves. And because we don't love ourselves, we're steadily trying to keep these men in our lives to show us love and affection that we don't give ourselves. And so God was taking me through this journey to make me understand and see, ooh, you do not love yourself. Because if you love yourself, one, you would not tolerate this crap. When you told this man day one, look, if you go out, you come home at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to lock your ass out and I'm not going to care where you sleep because I'm not going to open the door. But because when he came home, my heart felt touched. I was like, oh, I love him. I don't want him to go anywhere. I opened that door. He felt, okay, he can continue to do this. So God was teaching me, if you love yourself, when you love yourself, then you're going to set boundaries. When you set those boundaries and you're going to abide by those boundaries, you're going to live them out. Now, granted, when you set them, it's going to hurt. Why is it going to hurt, you ask? Well, of course, I'm going to tell you. It's going to hurt because even though you set the boundaries at the time when you set the boundaries, you were gung-ho about setting them. But then when it's time to apply them, you couldn't apply them because you were in love, because you felt like, oh, you love this man, you don't want to lose him, so you don't want to hold on to these boundaries. But these boundaries are self-love. So if you tell a man, look, if you come into my house at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm not going to open the door. Shoot. It's going to hurt not to open that door, but bitch, you're going to have to not open that door. Not open that door because you showing him, look, I'm not taking your shit. I am not going to accept this crap from you. You have to be different. You're going to have to be different. Now, being different may cost you a relationship. Oh, well. If it costs you this relationship, it was never your relationship to begin with. But if it is your relationship, being different is going to open this man's eye and be like, whoa, she ain't taking no shit from me. She's not taking no shit from me because she told me if I did this and that, she's going to do this. And she did. And you need to be able to do these type of things. And that's something that God had to teach me. Part of loving myself is recognize what my value is, my self-worth. How valuable am I to myself? Because first, before you can be valuable to anybody else, you have to first be valuable to yourself. And so I had to learn, what is it about myself that I'm willing, how far am I willing to go for a relationship? How far I'm not willing to go for a relationship? How much I'm willing to take from a man for a relationship? And how much I'm not willing to take? And I had to learn like cheating and all the other stuff. It's things I'm not willing to take. Lying, cheating, I'm not willing to take. There's a lot of little stuff I'm not willing to take. And because I'm not willing to take them, so I've set these boundaries up. Sorry, guys. I've gotten to work. I got to get my stuff. I've set these boundaries up that, if you're going to come in here, you're going to respect this because we're not going to deal with that. That's not, I'm going to respect you, so you damn sure going to have to respect me too. So that's something, I had to do. So I had to learn that. And walking out of the marriage was not easy, people. It was not easy. It was hard, because you were leaving something that's all I've ever known. 15 years of this man. But then I had to walk out and leave him. And one of the things I'm going to tell you, ladies, listen, if you're leaving a man, don't sit there and dwell on how happy he's going to be without you. That's stupid. That's self-sabotage. If you sit there and dwell and meditate on, if I leave him, he's going to find somebody else. He's going to be happy. That is self-sabotage. Honey, he wasn't happy with you. And you weren't happy with him. So why do you care if you find somebody else and he's happy? Who cares? As long as he's out of your life and you can find your happiness. That's what's important. Finding your happiness. So, sometimes you have to make decisions that are hard and difficult for yourself. because you love yourself. You have to let things go that don't serve you because you love yourself. And this man wasn't serving me, though I was holding on to him for 15 years. He wasn't serving me. He wasn't helping me to elevate. He wasn't allowing me to elevate. So he really wasn't serving my greatest and my highest good. So he had to go. And so I had to learn to let him go. And loving yourself means learning to let shit go that no longer serve you. And that's all it means. You have to love yourself enough to be like, this is hurting me. It's not helping me. I gotta let it go. The hurt will go away. When you let it go, it takes a little time, but the hurt goes away too. And you find yourself to be a brand new you. You'll be happy with a better you. So if this message resonated at all, and you like the story, please feel free to share, like, and subscribe. And sorry about the sunlight, you guys, because I had to go to work and all. But if you enjoyed the story, share it, pass it on. Hope you learned a lesson from it. See you.